Apple announced the schedule for this year's WWDC. The conference will kick off with the event on June 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and in today's video we're going to talk about what to expect, all the products, announcements, and everything else. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this type of content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Okay, so starting off, here we have the schedule posted on Apple's newsroom. Apple keynote on June 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Then the platform's State of the Union, June 5th, 1:30 p.m. Apple Design Awards on June 5th at 6:30 p.m. Here, access to experts, activities, and here there's information on how you can access all of the experience. So developers can access through the developers app, or you can go to developer.apple.com. But let's talk about what to expect. I know that you're curious to learn more about the product announcements and everything else that Apple is planning for the event. And the first product announcement that I'm pretty sure you're excited to learn more about is Apple's AR/VR headset. Apple is still planning on announcing the headset at the WWDC. I've talked about this in other videos, and we can expect the announcement, but the product itself, it's likely going to be released towards the end of the year, so maybe a little bit before the holidays. Now, something interesting is that Apple is trying to trademark the term XR Pro OS, which could be the name for its operating system. Apple did already trademark Reality Pro OS, which is another possibility for the name of the headset's operating system. This was filed in New Zealand. And also there is this image showing XR Pro OS. This was the image included in Argentina trademark application. And this is using SF Pro, which styling, which is the font that Apple uses in the majority of their products. So by taking a look at these trademark applications, we can kind of imagine that Apple is getting closer and closer to the actual announcement and actual release of the product. Once we get closer and closer to the announcement, we start getting more and more news about the product. So it looks like Apple is indeed planning on announcing the headset on June 5th. And the second product expected, and here we're talking about an actual release, is the 15-inch MacBook Air. According to Mark Gurman, new MacBooks will be announced at WWDC in June. And yes, he is talking about MacBooks, plural. I'm not really sure which other models are going to be released at the WWDC, but we have been hearing quite a lot about the 15-inch MacBook Air. So according to Mark Gurman, this 15-inch MacBook Air is going to look the same as the M2 13-inch MacBook Air, so same design, same ports, and same colors available. However, it's going to be, of course, bigger. It's going to have a 15-inch display. Talking about processors, it looks like it is indeed coming with the M2 processor, because the M3 is likely going to be released towards the end of the year. So we may get the 15-inch MacBook Air in June, and then Apple may update both computers, the 13 and 15-inch options, later towards the end of the year, or maybe in 2024. And of course, the WWDC is not focused in hardware, so Apple is going to announce the new versions of iOS, iPadOS, watchOS, macOS, and tvOS. So we can expect iOS 17, iPadOS 17, macOS 14, watchOS 10, and the new version of tvOS. I do have other videos here on the channel talking about iOS 17 in particular, so make sure to watch them as well in case you haven't seen them yet. But I do talk about it in more detail, and I talk about what to expect of this update, and it looks like it's going to be bigger than expected. At first, we were only hearing that, oh, iOS 17 is going to bring better performance to the iPhone, but it looks like we're getting a bunch of new features. And actually, same thing for watchOS 10. It looks like it's going to be one of the biggest watchOS updates, and it should have interface changes, focus on widgets, AR/VR headset integration, because yes, it's going to be announced at the event, performance improvements, and possible support for side-loading apps. And of course, the side-loading apps portion is going to be limited to the European Union. And this is what to expect at Apple's WWDC that is going to take place on June 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Of course, I will be back with more information, and right after the event, I will be here publishing the roundup and what happened at the event, the main points, the main releases, and everything that you want to learn about what happened at the WWDC. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. Also, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content coming up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.